Hey guys, it's that time of the week again where we delve into the old world and get another video in the playlist. Obviously, with the recent release of the Wood Elves and the Beastmen, they are kind of the most popular things right now, and I'm sure there's a lot of people starting new armies of them who are looking for videos and stuff to consume. So I'm going to be going back and forth to a couple of videos of them until some other glorious future release comes my way. The model I'm going to be focusing on today is from the new Beastmen range, and it is, of course, Kralmaw, the Prophet of Ruin, which is the new character for Beastmen that got released alongside their Arcane Journal. Very beautiful miniature. I'm very excited to paint him. Beastmen have been one of my favorite armies for a long time, and like I said, I'm looking forward to adding a new character to it. I am also very confused as to where the new model is for the Wood Elves. Every other army, every single other army for the old world got a new release, even if it was just a single character like the Beastmen, except Wood Elves. No idea what the story is with that, but hopefully it's just being put away and it'll be out sometime soon, because I would like to paint a new Wood Elf. But anyway, let's get stuck in and get this beautiful model painted up. Okay, so this is Kralmaw, the Prophet of Ruin, the beautiful new sculpted special character for Beastmen for Warhammer the Old World. I'm a big fan of Beastmen, so I was very pleased to get a new sculpt. I did notice something kind of bizarre though when I went to check his image. I like to go to the Warhammer website, pull up their images and use the 360s and stuff to help me pick out details and find out what colors go where and how that works and stuff like that. It's a trick I've been using for years. And I noticed that he's the first old world character that has come out brand new that didn't sell out immediately. And this broke my heart a little bit. Poor Beastmen are not getting any love. No, he's still available on the website. I don't think they made more of him than the Empire characters, for instance, or the High Elf characters. But yeah, it just goes to show the popularity of Beastmen just isn't as strong as other armies, which was the case back when Warhammer Fantasy existed. They were never one of the most loved factions in the game. So it's kind of sad to see that's carried through to Warhammer the Old World. I hope more people pick up these forces and play this army, because it genuinely is a fantastic selection of miniatures. It's a really intricate and fun army to play in Warhammer the Old World. It's one I've faced off against in a tournament, and they actually beat me. Smashed out my Bretonnians. They had very cleverly played their models and stuff. So yeah, I do hope they get more popularity and people go and order this model after seeing my paint job, or just in general, because he is absolutely stunning. So the model got sprayed black and then sprayed grey as my traditional kind of prepping of a model for the contrast base coats. We threw Guilliman Flesh on for all of his skin, and then we go for Agros Dunes for all of the fur. I went for a kind of more pale fur for this particular guy. I wanted to stand out a little bit more age, a little bit more wizen. Maybe his fur's gone a little bit lighter. You can, of course, completely ignore that and go for like a Gore-Grunta fur or a Rattling Grime or any of those other really nice. There's so many different brown contrasts. There's so many, and so many really good ones as well, that you could substitute on if you want to change the fur color of this particular model. Skeleton Horde was then brought out for, guess what, all the bone. So his horns. His top of his staff is actually a big pair of antler horns that gets done in it, and then there's lots of bones and chips and stuff hanging off of everything. So just go around the model, try and find all of those bits and pieces. It's one of the main reasons why I went to the Games Workshop website, was to try and find out where all the different bone details were and get them blocked in. Now, me personally, my old world Chaos armies all have a kind of slightly similar team. Lots of silver steel armor, and then all the cloth is going to be red. So my Warriors of Chaos and my Beastmen, they're going to be the same. In case I ever do decide that I want to do a large scale battle, maybe I want to have a Beastman and a Chaos Warriors army mashed together and play against someone else with Empire and Bretonnians mixed, that kind of thing. So I like the theme to match a little bit. So I'm going for red cloth with mine. It's another thing that you can easily substitute if red is not to your liking. The one that they've done on the website and on his picture is another kind of brown color, which is fine. Beastmen are very earthy, druidic style army, so they are very much natural tones. So you can just follow through with lots of browns, but I wanted to just add that little spark, something a little bit different, and the red for me is the way to go with that. I think it looks really cool, and I think he'll stand out from other Beastmen models, because there's not a lot of Beastmen models that have this much cloth on them. So when you look across the sea of Beastmen models on the table, you will see the red poking through and know that guy is a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more special. That will work a treat. Wildwood was then used for the rest of his staff, a wizened old piece of oak, so I went for a really dark brown color for that. And then obviously there's things like bags and tokens and straps and stuff that hold on all of his trinkets. We're going to go around and do that with that brown color as well, just to kind of make the distinction between the kind of light browns and the actual bone colors as well. Pterodon turquoise was used for 2 details. One, there's like a big mop of like, it looks like the plume taken off a helmet or something. That's on the right hand side, and then there's some really nice feathers on the left. I decided that he wouldn't just take any normal like blackbird feathers or anything like that. It would have to be something a little bit more esoteric, something a little bit more special that would stand out to him, so like a cockatrice feather or something like that. Therefore I went for turquoise for that. Black Templar was used because he does have a dead crow strapped across his back that I'm sure he is going to do some sort of magical spell or create some sort of crazed potion or whatever with this guy. Yeah, we blocked him in with black. So well sculpted. It's an amazing model. Lead Belcher is then used for all the metallic parts. He does also come with a little bit of a familiar as well, which is really cool to see, but then I'm a little bit confused by one thing. Maybe someone in the comments can help me out with this. Is the smaller guy is on a different size base. So if I wanted to put this guy in a unit, does the familiar go in the unit too? And if so, he's going to be a different shaped gap to the rest. You know what I mean? It's a little bit bizarre to me. I feel like it should have been on the same base and they could both go into the unit and look nice together and stuff. So I have no idea. And while people are going down there and commenting on that and helping me out with that, figure that out, that would be great if you could also like this video. And also make sure you're subscribed. If you want to help support the channel even further, there's things like a Patreon page, and you can also become a channel member. They're all linked down below. You get access to a private Discord server and access to an extra video every single week for being a member of either of the Patreon or channel membership. Very cool benefits for that. It's a really cool community over on the Discord as well. Everyone is welcome. Everyone's very supportive and stuff like that. So it has grown. It's like 400 or 500 members strong now. So it's really good. Okay, we've now gotten him all shaded and we have thrown some detail on his base. And we're now ready to build up some of these colors. So I did not want to go the kind of Mephiston Red, Evil Sun Scarlet, like that kind of color. That would be too bright and too vibrant. Those kind of dyes would not be used for these guys. So I went for the Corn Red into the Wazdacker Red scheme for this guy, which will put you more like a crimson color, if you know what I mean. A little bit of a ruby color? No. You know what I mean, a darker red tone that I think sits next to the browns and tans and stuff that exists on him a little bit better than something brighter would be. And with the Wazdacker, we are just going to go very light with the touches. I'll highlight them very carefully. Obviously, they dropped the Beastmen and the Wood Elves together. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I am unsure as to why Wood Elves didn't get a new model. I feel like that had to have been planned, or something had to have gone wrong. Maybe a manufacturing problem, or maybe something got... I don't think at the start they were designing or planning which models they were going to create for the first year of the old world, for instance. And they were like, yeah, this army's going to get this army's going to get this. And then they got the Wood Elves and they're like, yeah, let that be the only one that's not going to get anything new. To me, that's just wrong, a bit bizarre. It has to be wrong, and there has to be something for Wood Elves out there. And I'm hoping at some stage they will correct that and give us it. Like, if you look how beautiful they've made this Beastman model, imagine what a new Wood Elf sculpt is going to look like. I, for one, need it in my life. Hopefully it's something big and crazy. Bring back the Twilight Sisters on their Forest Dragon. Imagine Games Workshop doing a new version of that. Okay, adding some extra detail now. We are, of course, working on the skin. We've gone for the Akkadian flesh tone, and then we've added a little bit of Berserker Bloodshade over the top of that. A little highlight of Kislev flesh over the top of that again. Just adding very touch highlights. Just makes the skin pop. It's a very simple kind of 3-step technique, and it just really, really makes the skin look awesome. And it takes very little time, especially in a model like this, where honestly, his nose, his lips, his hands, that's all it's showing. The rest is pretty much, he's got knees and stuff in there as well. You can go find them. And then he's also got a severed hand and a decapitated head on his staff. You could do them in like rotting or dead flesh, but I went for a more kind of new skin. So I just did the same tones I did for him. More gassed bone was then brought in, and I used this to highlight all of the bone parts of this model. So all those bits hanging off his trinkets for his spells and his potions and all sorts of other miscreant deeds that he is doing. And all I did was a simple touch highlight with that. I didn't go crazy. It's not like layered up 3 or 4 times. It's just a one step. We did it on the antlers on the staff as well. And then, of course, his antlers. You can see I'm just going in, following the banding that exists already on his horns. And just adding one line of highlight to those to make it pop. Catachan flesh was then used to highlight his staff. And then, of course, all of those sacks and stuff that God already knows what he's got in there, to be honest. I don't even want to speculate. But just a little highlight with those as well. After that, we got Carrick Stone. Don't worry about it being an air one that I was using there. It's just basically a pre-thin paint. And I'm going to use this to do a very simple, very quick highlight on all of the fur. Unlike other Beastmen, he doesn't have that much fur on show because he's got so many kind of robes and stuff on him. So just take your time and just do those strands as a very quick highlight. We went in for a turquoise highlight. Just grab any turquoise you want and then just do a stabby highlight onto that, just to make those details pop a little bit more. Nothing crazy. And then there's other details you can, of course, go through. I did his gums and his teeth. I used bone and Berserker Bloodshade for the gums. And any other trinkets you can find that exist around this model. I'm sure there's a couple of details there. I highlighted the silver. He's got a bunch of bells on him and a hook hanging off the back of him. Fingernails and stuff if you want to go that far. He's got earrings in. These are all bits and pieces that you can decide what you want to do with them. And you can get this model painted up relatively fast and be a real nice centerpiece to a Beastman force. I, for one, definitely want to get my Beastman army tidied up and rebased and ready for the old world. It's actually already rebased. I just need to actually do the bases on them. That would be really cool. So with that, we have our finished Crawl Maw model. Really happy with the final result. I think he looks awesome. He stands out really well. And yeah, I just need to add a couple of grass tufts and he's done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you do those things I mentioned earlier. Like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys in next week's Old World video.